There was a preacher that came into the community down there in Alabama where I lived when I was a kid. Brother John Starnes. He had bought an old church building that had been abandoned for a while, and it sold at public auction for the property taxes or whatever it was on it, failure to pay or something, and they sold it, and Brother Starnes bought it and started him a church there. And it was evident pretty quick that he was very different to most preachers. And I'm not saying bad things about preachers in general. At least 95% of them are good, genuine people. It's like everything else, there's a few rogues among the people that says they're preachers. And this was what Brother Starnes fit in that real good. He kind of did a lot of things that most preachers don't do. Not good things either. But there was two men that lived there in town. They were brothers. They were two of the meanest people that you'd ever see. Somehow Brother Starnes had picked up on that, and he avoided those men all he could because he was just a little bit afraid of them. Well, one of them comes to his house one day, comes in on the porch and knocks on the door. Brother Starnes throws the door open and sees who it is, and he wishes he hadn't opened the door. Man said, "Preacher, I need your help." "Oh, well, this is sounding more interesting." He said, "What can I do to help you?" He said, "My brother died a while ago. You probably heard he got knifed a couple of weeks ago down here, and he never got over it. He lingered on a while, but he died. And I need you to preach his funeral. And I'm going to make a deal with you. If you will, at some point in your message, say that my brother was a saint, I'll give you $5,000. Well, preacher, he's trying to sound religious, and he says, "Oh, the church could really use that." He wasn't planning on most of it going to church, but that was his plan. So he mulls over it and he thinks there's going to be some people there, and if I get up and call this man a saint, they're going to all know that I'm lying. And I don't like to be caught in a lie. I have been several times, and I don't like it. But he comes up with a plan. So the day of the funeral arrives, and they bring the body out to the church building, and preachers in there, and there's a fairly decent crowd there. And mostly they won't come and want to see what they are going to say about the old boy because he was mean as a rattlesnake. Well, the preacher gets up and he reads a few verses and then he starts talking. And he said, "This man here, laying here in the casket, has been about as mean as you could be. He was just a very despicable person. No one wanted to be around him. Nobody trusted him. He was really bad. I just cannot think of a way to describe how mean this man was, how low down, dirty he was about everything. He would have stole out of an orphan's home and laughed about it. There's just no way to describe his meanness and hatefulness. But when you compare him to his brother that's sitting over on the front pew, this man was a saint. Well, a few days after that, Brother Starnes is driving down the highway one day, and there's a deputy that's kind of watching for speeders and so on, you know, and reckless drivers and things. And he notices Brother Starnes is kind of weaving. Every now and then his wheels gets off the shoulder of the road and back and across the center line a little bit. He follows him a little ways. He says, there's something wrong. Something's wrong with the preacher. So he flips on his blue lights, you know, and Brother Starnes pulls over. He gets out and walks up to the car. He said, Brother Starnes, said, you're weaving going down the road. I don't think I was. Yes, you were. He said, you crossed the center line a couple of times there. If there had been anything coming, it would have been a bad accident, but I got you pulled over now. Notice Brother Starnes, you got a brown bottle here sitting in a paper sack, and the sack's pulled up, kind of crimped around the neck of it. He said, by the way, what's in the bottle there? Pure creek water. I just filled that bottle just a few minutes ago. Just straight creek water. Really? He said, let me see it. Well, he don't offer to let him see it, but the deputy just reaches in, picks the bottle up, sniffs it. He says, Brother Starnes, that's not water in that bottle, that's wine. Brother Starnes looks at him, throws his hand in the air, gives a big whoop, says, hallelujah, he has done it again.